Good morning, sacred friends. Welcome back to another episode of Inspirational Coffee Talk. My name is L.schonewill. I'm an inspirational life coach, a healer, and an avid coffee lover. If you don't already have your coffee, go grab that now and join me back here in just a moment. Okay, welcome back, everyone. So in today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about generational healing. That may or may not be something that you've heard of before, but it's absolutely something that I talk so much about when I'm doing coaching. It's so important because what we don't realize is what we don't acknowledge, what we don't heal in our families gets passed down. It's almost like with each generation, we get an invitation that says, you're up. Everything and anything that the previous generation didn't look at, didn't acknowledge, didn't heal, gets passed to you. With the invitation to, are you ready to look at what are the patterns that are running through your families? There can be a lot sometimes. I don't know if any of you have heard the story of the grandmother that during the holidays, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, would take the ham, cut it off, and then put it in the pan. And so every daughter, granddaughter, everyone was taking ham, cutting it off, putting it in a pan. And till one generation said, Mom, why are we cutting the ham and putting it in the pan like this? And she said, I don't know. Grandma just always did that. And so because Grandma always did it, we've just always done it this way. And it really took this daughter asking, why do we do this? And when they went back and asked Grandma, why are we cutting the ham this way and putting it in the pan? She said, oh, well, my pan wasn't big enough for the ham, so I had to cut it. So it was as simple as, no special thing to the recipe, nothing that made the ham taste better. It was simply the pan wasn't big enough. But nobody, I don't know if it was courage, whatever the reason was, nobody took the time to say, why do we do it this way? And so it's time, and we're in January in a brand new year. It's time for each one of us to take a look at our families, the families we came through, and say, why is it that we do what we do? There's some questions that I often ask my coaching clients when we're sitting together and I'm kind of asking questions about their family. What are the patterns in the family? Sometimes it can be alcoholism. Sometimes it can be rage. Sometimes it can be, we just don't talk about that. Like nobody questions anything. You just do what you're told, right? And so it's important to know what these patterns are. And so some of the questions that I begin asking when we're starting this journey is, I say, what is trying to stop in your family and what is trying to start in your family? And that's such a question that a lot of people have never really thought about. Yeah, what is trying to stop? Alcoholism's trying to stop? What's trying to start? Standing up for yourself? Saying what's true for you, maybe? I mean, it's a really great question. Another one that I ask too is, what in your family wants to rest and become wisdom? Like, what are the things that you can really learn from that have gone on year after year, generation after generation? What now wants to stop, right? So that everybody can get educated and it can now become wisdom. And the wisdom is, if you drink too much alcohol, you make poor choices, or this happens, right? One thing I always say to my children is everything in moderation except for love. It's something that we giggle about. We love everything in moderation except for love. I don't think you can overdo love. Maybe if you don't have the proper boundaries, it can become dysfunctional, but you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, what's some other questions that I ask? Something wants to stop, something wants to start. We ask that one. What do you want to do differently than your family, than what's happened in your family? How can we, those of us who are really taking a look at this generational healing, how can we take a look at this and say, okay, what is it I want to keep that I absolutely love about my family, and what has to go? You know, because we live in a society that kind of has a tendency to condition us to believe all or nothing. You know, it's all in, we have to take it all and do it all, or it's all out. Instead of kind of sifting through and say, where are the gems here? What is it I want to keep and what has to go? No more of this, but I definitely want that, right? That's an option. Okay, what do I want to do differently? What's the invitation forward? Have you noticed? Life has this beautiful way. When I'm talking about life, I'm talking about God, Jesus, the universe, this divine intelligence that runs through all things. You'll hear me speak of it often. I'm deeply connected to this wisdom. I believe so strongly that we're being led in what's next for us. You know, as I mentioned before, every generation gets a "you're up" card. You're up. What do you want to do with this wisdom? What do you want to do with this dysfunction? What do you want to do with all of the things that has made our family stuck? Are you ready for something different? All the while you keep the wisdom and the love. Every family, as dysfunctional as they are, has some components of love woven through there in the only way they knew how to express or experience love. So this today is a beautiful invitation for you to take a look at your family. Begin to ask these questions so that you can move forward and make this year your most connected year. Because I think it starts with our family, it moves to our community, it goes out into maybe our state, our country, and our world. Everything is interconnectedness. Yeah, everything is interconnected. You know what I mean? Everything is connected, right? Everything touches everything. And when we begin to see it this way, we begin to understand how deeply connected we all are. So that's the invitation for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.